Good evening, welcome to CityCast.
I am Bharadwaj Sharma.
And I am Aditi R. Bangaloreans are experiencing the searing heat of the sun this summer. Today, we'll look at how the city is coping with it. Power consumption is on a rise in the state. Our reporter Rishika Sadam talks to Bescom department to find out how they are meeting with the increased demands of power consumption.
Power consumption is on a rise in the state. There has been 25% rise compared to last year. Previous year, that is in 2013, the power consumption was 167 million units, and this year it has reached around 204 million units in the entire state. Also, the peak limit for domestic power consumption has increased by 15%. Last year, it was around 8,761 megawatts, and this year, in 2014, it has reached 9,223 megawatts on 26th March. The authorities say to meet the increasing demands, they are buying power from more independent power producing units and using other sources for power generation.
Power consumption is high as compared to the previous year because it is recorded, consumption recorded highest is 204.11 million units.
Okay.
On 26 March 14,
Okay.
with a peak load of 9223 megawatt. Yes, buying power. So everything and then Jindal
Okay.
we are taking, and so many mini IT plants are there in Raichur district, in especially, and also in Gangavati and some Mangalore district, some mini IT plants are there. And we are getting power from wind also, wind.
While there is a sign of relief for people of the city as Bescom has not scheduled any power cuts till the elections. Bescom also is planning to meet long-term power consumption demands as they expect power to be generated from new plants set up in Raichur. For CityCast News, this is Rishika Sadam, Bangalore.
Bescom is improving the power infrastructure to meet the surging demand. Now let's find out, is the city equipped to meet the water demand?
The denizens of Bangalore do not have to worry about managing water for the summer unlike last year. BWSSB says water supply will not get affected this time.
Reservoir water, no problem. So since that last rainy season it has filled,
Yeah.
we have sufficient water for up to June till rainy season. Reservoir has sufficient quota of BWSSB. BWSSB has 19 TMC quota per year,
Yeah.
for Bangalore.
Okay.
So in that whatever we require,
Yeah.
that water is there, no problem for water. This time no problem, they can manage.
Last year, the city recorded the highest temperature of 36.6 degrees Celsius in the last 15 years. And the city suffered a huge water crisis with only 20 days of drinking water left in the reservoirs during the month of May. Earlier, the BWSSB used to depend on the TG Halli and Hesarghatta reservoirs for supply of water to Bangalore city. But a few years back, they dried up completely.
We are only depending on Kaveri water.
Okay.
And some borewell people in some areas peripherally, some borewells are also still operating because in CMC area, some areas that water pipeline is connected.
Okay.
There that borewell supply is existed.
Okay. Although the city has become hotter than last year, and today Bangalore has recorded a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius, with ample amount of water stored for the summer, the city is not likely to face any water problems. For CityCast News, Sharmishta Maji reporting.
Plan your week in advance as we bring you the weather forecast. It is not just the weather that is irking city dwellers. Women seem to have another reason. We will bring you this and more after a short break. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Young girls in the city have to face eve teasers but don't know how to deal with them. Our reporter Meeta Ramnani examines why they don't go to the police.
The Criminal Law Amendment Act that came to force from February 2013 includes eve teasing, but there has been only one complaint in Bangalore till now.
Regarding eve teasing, not many complaints are coming. Only when, I should say specifically, only when there is some physical assault, then there is a complaint.
Most of the girls are not aware of this law. They just ignore the eve teasers and take no action against them.
We feel really unsecure when traveling in autos and buses. And nowadays we are really afraid because we don't trust police also. As you can see, okay fine, today we go and complain in the police station about any person doing that to us. But tomorrow what if it's just harmful to us? But yes, we will go to the police station after a limit, after they cross their limits.
Under Section 354A, if a man is proved guilty for eve teasing, the punishment is from 1 year to 5 years. To spread awareness about the law, the police conducted a campaign.
We had started this campaign of awareness. We have made some films also during November and December 2013 as part of our crime prevention week month, and we have displayed many CDs, movies of 2 minutes duration through a mobile van and also in different movie theaters. And we have distributed many pamphlets, handbills, flex boards, etc. etc. Definitely there is a need for awareness.
There has been only one complaint on eve teasing in October 2013, but there have been no arrests. According to a principal of a reputed girls' college, there should be more awareness so that the people get more educated.
Safety of women is not better now, not at all. Because I thought earlier it was much safer for us to walk on the streets. Nobody thought about somebody raping or somebody killing or somebody eve teasing. It was never there. At least when we were young, we never heard about it so much. But now it has become so rampant, so common.
The girls in the city believe in protecting themselves and have their own ways to deal with the problem.
I learned karate.
We were asked to keep Swiss knife and pepper spray with us for our own safety. We make sure that our work is done before 7 or 6 o'clock.
The problem of eve teasing in the city is still very much prevalent even after efforts of the police and the government. This is Meeta Ramnani for Citycast News.
From women, let's shift our focus to the city kids. Despite a rise in number of sexual offence cases against children, there is no conviction. Our reporter Niyati Handa examines the impact of the Protection of Children from Child Abuses Act in Bangalore.
There has been a 40% rise in sexual offence cases against children since 2010. These cases were booked under different sections of the IPC earlier.
This POCSO, and I think there is awareness also coming up, and hence there is increase in registration of cases also. So if you see from 2010 to 2013, there is a continuous increase. It doesn't mean that there is an increase in crime, but there is a awareness because of new law and a lot of cases being done, and people are coming forward to book the cases.
Police believe the act will help them get a better conviction rate.
There will be good conviction rate also, and investigators are being trained that how to go for investigation in special laws. So as a deterrent, I think this act will work. And because if you see last 3 years, we checked that the cases are on trial. So
the POCSO Act mandates a charge sheet has to be filed within 1 month and the judgment within 1 year if possible.
Before POCSO, there was no such rule, so there have been cases going on for 10, 15, 20 years, depending. They're so frustrated. They're completely frustrated and depressed. The victims themselves are children who have been abused are in a state of shock, but the families are running around and they have got nothing, they don't have any hope, frankly.
Activists believe the law are good, but the problem is in the enforcement. This is Niyati Handa reporting for CityCast.
Ayurvedic medicines by Asaram are sold everywhere in Karnataka except Bangalore. Our reporter Bhargava Sharma tells us why.
Ayurvedic medicines are sold in Bidar, Belgaum and Khanapur districts. The store in Bangalore, however, is closed following a notice by the Department of Ayush for violations. Ayush found they sold drugs that did not have specific generic names, nor did they display any manufacturing or expiry date.
They have to get registered as per our act to practice medicine in the state of Karnataka. Without personal gain, that means without taking any money, is excluded from our act.
Asaram Bapu Center is not registered in Karnataka with Ayush or medical department.
यहाँ जो कार्य कर रहे हैं कोई कमर्शियल हमारा उद्देश्य नहीं है, लोगों को कम दर में अच्छी चीजें पहुंचाना ये हमारा मूल उद्देश्य है, गलत व्यापार नहीं करें.
The center says they do not charge for treatment or sell Ayurvedic medicines for cheap price. All necessary documents have been submitted following the notice by Ayush.
मेडिसिन को हम एकदम सब्सिडाइज रेट में देते हैं, हर गरीब आदमी भी 5 से 6 रुपए में दवाई ले सकता है.
Ayush Registrar says a list of other staff members has to be registered with the State Medical Council.
They have to get registered as per our act to practice medicine in the state of Karnataka.
Ayush department has declared 1980 quacks, has sent 1819 notices and 161 FIRs were registered last year in Karnataka. This is Bharadwaj Sharma for CityCast News.
That's all we have for today.
Thank you for watching CityCast. For more news, log on to www.citycast.in.